Hey guys, True Grit Scout Bulletproof Saws. I made a couple quick videos on this little pre-built Neotec saw I got from Mike Ralph the other day. I guess he's neotecus.com. Anyhow, he's been a great guy because I buy a bunch of kits from him and all. So he sent me this one out to test. And I believe it's a Husky 543 XP clone. Just got it yesterday. Don't know much about the saw, so I could be wrong on that. The saw is so darn light. I think it's 10 pounds or 11 pounds. I weighed it yesterday. I can't remember what it weighed at. I'll say it's 11 and a half pounds with the bar and chain. Came with the bar and chain. I made two quick videos yesterday. One was kind of an unboxing video because it was the best package saw I have ever seen come from China, period, hands down, by far. The little extras in the box were nice. What I didn't talk about in that video that I really liked was that the manual that came with it, or the booklet that came with it, was actually like an IPL. Here, I'll show you this saw as we're talking. It was actually an IPL. It was an illustrated parts list. So I didn't look at it real hard. I took a glance and I'm like, brilliant guys, you're sending me the whole parts list for the breakdown of the whole saw. That's nice, because I sure as heck know I don't have an IPL for a 543 XP, or as Neotec's calling it, an NH843. I put fuel in it. I made a couple cuts. I didn't make 10 cuts with this saw yet. Right off the bat, I started tuning it because it was definitely a turn fat on the high and the low. The low wasn't as bad, but I also think they were playing with the LA screw. So I'm not even saying I have this tuned in yet. Reminded me of a lot of Huskies that I run where it was boggy when it first starts until you warm it up, and then it's, you know, it wakes right up. Like I said, I don't have 5 ounces of fuel through this. I don't have 10 cuts through this, so I don't know anything about it. When I opened up the box, I'm going to tell you what scared me. This plastic chain brake. I've seen it's not the same, which I didn't know until I played with it, on the Farmer Tech John Cutter 2500. I think that the chain brake is absolute trash, and it holds that saw back, because I kind of like that little John Cutter or Prowler puppy, whatever you want to call it, that 2500. I kind of like that little saw. The chain brake is abysmal. I have a hard time giving it to any pro guys that just want a disposable saw, because that chain brake is so bad. I think it's a safety issue. It's not good. They need to improve that. Thought this was going to be the same, but it's not. This chain brake is actually great. There's a lot of plastic on this saw, and I'm guessing that a lot of plastic must be on the Husky 543 XP. I don't know, but it makes it very light. The 16-inch bar and chain, I don't have an opinion on the bar yet. I haven't spun enough with it, but the few cuts I made, I love this chain. It reminded me of, I see the Archer chain that's very similar. I see the Farmer Tech chain that's very similar, but this is different. It's actually stamped Neotec. It's similar, but it's different chain. I don't know if it's made someplace else, but it is different. The rivets are different. The markings on the links are different. Not very different, but it's not the same mold, factory, whatever. Something's different about it, but it was a grippy little chain on it, little 16-inch bar. I made a couple runs, and I'm excited about this because with the few little cuts that I did, it wasn't bad for, we're talking a $200 saw as a pre-built that all I did was I put fuel in it, I put bar oil in it, and I ran it. I didn't check a screw. I didn't touch anything except adjusting the carb. So for a $200 lightweight saw that you could keep in, you know, maybe not the glove box of your truck, but it's not bad. And you're not out a beautiful, you know, $500 or $1,000 saw being stolen out of your truck if you want to leave this in. We live in a place where our road gets closed and floods, and we have trees down all the time, and you know, you wind up doing that more than you think. So we tend to like to keep saws with us if we can. I don't know what else to tell you about this. Hey, sweetie. little neighbor dog comes up to visit when she hears the chainsaw. She knows somebody's out here, and she's expecting some of my dogs to be out here to play with. Anyhow, I'm not going to talk a whole lot other than to say so far so good. It started on, you know, the third or fourth pull. I just had it running for a minute before I clicked you guys on, so I'll start her up again and we'll see how she does. It also has that funny springy recoil. I forget what you call that, but you see what I mean? A little boggy. And I might not have it. I might not have my screws turned right, guys. I'm not smooth on throttle there, guys. I don't know if you could hear it, but that's not me doing that. That's the saw doing that because I'm being smooth with my grip. Again, I got to play with that carb a little bit, and I haven't looked at anything and adjusting it, so maybe I'm out of whack with my turns of the screws there. I can't get used to these. Oh, you got to turn them on first. I didn't even put the dogs on this thing. I just wanted to get out and run it because I was excited. Anyhow, let me... saw I couldn't start it there before, guys. I had the power switch off. We're at 14 cuts on the saw, barely tuned in. It runs with that little 16-inch bar. Granted, this piece of wood here is not the widest. It's only, I don't know, 18 or 19 inches wide, and I don't know, it's probably 25 inches top to bottom. Anyhow, it's a neat little unit. I'm looking forward to playing with it. Now, here's my problem. I only have one of them. So, I think I want to keep it, not touch a thing on it, and run it stock for a little while and play around with it, just to get an idea of what we get out of the box before I start monkeying. But I really want to start monkeying. I wish I had two of them. One I could rip apart and one I could leave stock, and then I could do some comparisons, but I only have one of them. So maybe I'll look into getting another one that I could play with and leave this one stock for as long as I can. And the limiting factor there is going to be I'm going to get bored one day and I'm going to want to tinker. But I got enough work on the bench that maybe I could stay away from this thing. Anyhow, neat little Neotec pre-built. I see on the transfer cover there reminds me of like I thought some of the other Huskies, like the 346 XP, had those covers like that, and maybe my little Husky 350s had that too. I don't do a ton of Huskies. I do more steels than Huskies, so I'm a little bit out of the loop on these, but it's a neat little saw. It feels real good in the hand, and I want to play with it, and maybe I have a little bit of wood around here to buck up some different stuff, and maybe I'll get into some of that and make some more videos. Like I said, it's light and it's all plastic, but that handlebar seems stiff. To be honest with you, and maybe it's because this saw is so light, that seems as stiff as some of the ones on the 660 Farmer Tech saws that I've seen. You know, because I wind up replacing all those handles on the 440s, 460s, 660s with the highway heavy duty. I'm not saying it's a highway heavy duty handle, but that's kind of nice. I don't know. It's just a neat little tiny saw. I think it was a pound heavier than my 200T. It was a couple pounds heavier than a 193. 193 didn't have a bar on it, so it wasn't a great test. I don't know what else to tell you. Here, been sitting a minute now while I've been yakking. Let's see if she starts right back up again. I don't know, something to play with, guys. Anyhow, for a sub or $200 saw without me doing a thing to it, pretty neat. Anyhow, True Grit Scott, Bulletproof Saws. Thanks for watching and stay safe, guys.